The early sun kissed the horizon, painting hues of gold and crimson across the serene landscape. I approached Buddha, hesitant yet hopeful, longing for answers to my struggles. Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, his face radiating peace, eyes fixed gently on the ground. I confessed my inability to listen deeply, my mind clouded by judgment and impatience when others spoke. Buddha motioned for me to sit, his presence calm and unwavering, a source of inexplicable comfort. Without speaking, he reached for a small pebble and cast it into the pond nearby. The land you cultivate does not belong solely to you, he said, but to all beings who depend upon it. Begin with mindfulness, he continued, for the way you sow your seeds reflects the intentions within your heart. I watched intently. The water's movements mirrored the unrest within my own heart. When you listen to others, your own mind often churns with ripples of judgment and distraction, Buddha continued, his gaze unwavering. Listening is not hearing words alone. It is embracing silence, stillness, and the truth within. His words settled into the depths of my mind like seeds of wisdom taking root. He leaned down, scooping water gently into his palm, letting it flow back into the pond. Stillness creates clarity, Buddha said. When the surface is calm, it reflects truth without distortion, allowing deep understanding. I nodded, my heart slowly absorbing the wisdom like a sponge soaking in rain. Buddha's disciples gathered around, sensing the gravity of his teachings. Silent yet attentive, he asked Ananda, a fellow disciple, Ananda, share how listening changed your understanding of compassion. Ananda spoke softly, recounting an incident with a grieving villager. How silence connected their pain and healing. This is the power of presence, Buddha said, his words resonating with echoes of timeless truth. Presence unveils the hidden layers of suffering, uncovering paths to compassion and solace. He reached into a pouch, producing another stone, holding it delicately in his hand. The world burdens each person with stones of sorrow, Buddha explained, his voice calm yet filled with depth. To listen is to lighten these burdens, one stone at a time. I realized listening held within it the ability to heal wounds unseen yet deeply felt. A bird's melody carried through the air, blending with Buddha's teachings in perfect harmony. The bird does not sing to be heard, but because it finds joy in expression. Likewise, listen without intent to fix. His words dissolved my fear of not having solutions to offer when listening. The river flows without resistance, accepting every stone cast into it, Buddha said, his hand tracing the pond's edge. So too must you accept others' truths without resistance or rejection. The disciples murmured in agreement, a wave of understanding passing through the gathering. The lotus blooms because it embraces the mud, its roots nourished by what others discard, Buddha continued, pointing to the nearby blossoms. Listening deeply requires embracing another's pain without fear, judgment, or resistance, transforming it into connection. I pondered his words. The simplicity of listening unveiled its profound transformative nature. Buddha stood, motioning toward a distant mountain, its peak shrouded by soft clouds. Do you see the mountain? He asked. I nodded, wondering what lesson it held. From the base, the mountain seems unreachable, its peak hidden by clouds. Yet step by step, its truth is revealed. Buddha smiled knowingly, his gaze serene yet penetrating. Listening is the journey up this mountain, unveiling truths hidden from first glance. The disciples followed him as he walked toward the pond's edge. Barefoot and silent, water nurtures life by being open to everything it receives, Buddha said. His footsteps gentle, unhurried, become like water, letting every word flow through without clinging or resistance. My mind began shedding its layers of urgency, judgment, and fear that hindered my ability to listen. Buddha paused, bending down to grasp a handful of soil. letting it sift through his fingers. The soil holds seeds without knowing their growth. Listening is holding another's pain without knowing its outcome. His words resonated deeply, like echoes across a canyon, shaping my understanding of patience and presence. The mind, like soil, must remain fertile and open, nurturing the seeds of truth spoken by others. His teachings felt universal yet intimate, as though spoken solely to me. Each sentence carried meaning beyond its words, weaving the essence of listening into the fabric of my being. Buddha turned toward the disciples, his gaze warm yet piercing, as though reading their souls. Listening is not an act. It is the embodiment of compassion, the practice of selflessness. The disciples bowed in reverence, their hearts filled with gratitude and wisdom, as did I. Buddha motioned for us to sit by the pond's edge, the evening light settling across the waters. The ripples faded into stillness, mirroring the clarity within my own mind. In still waters, truth reflects itself without distortion, revealing the essence of all existence. Buddha said softly, "Let your mind become still," allowing the truth of others to reflect as it is. His words carried the weight of wisdom yet felt light in their simplicity. The sky dimmed as stars emerged, their light mirrored on the pond's surface. Infinite and interconnected, listening deeply connects you to the infinite essence of others, transcending the boundaries of self and separation. Buddha's teachings felt eternal, their echoes resonating beyond the confines of time. The disciples sat in silent meditation, absorbing the profound nature of his words, their minds quiet yet alive. Buddha stood, his movements graceful and deliberate, like a river finding its path without effort. He held the lotus flower, its petals open yet delicate. This lotus reflects all it receives. Let your mind and heart reflect the truths of others without distortion. Buddha's voice carried the reverence of the universe itself, his gaze filled with boundless love. I felt the urge to speak but chose silence, embracing the act of listening in its purest form. The night grew deeper, its silence punctuated by the teachings flowing into our hearts like water nurturing roots unseen. Buddha's teachings transformed the act of listening into a path toward compassion, connection, and boundless understanding. I vowed to practice the stillness he embodied, the wisdom he shared, the truth he unveiled. The ripples in the pond remained still, their movements transformed into reflections of clarity. Just as my heart felt, each star above seemed to carry the essence of Buddha's words, illuminating the path toward deep listening. In silence, I listened to the echoes of his teachings lingering within. The Bodhi tree stood tall and timeless, its roots deep, its presence unwavering, a witness to Buddha's wisdom. The gathering dissolved as dawn approached, but his words remained, rippling through the lives of all present. I walked away, carrying the teachings as seeds planted deep within my being. Another day, another lesson unfolded under the sacred Bodhi tree where Buddha sat, his presence grounding all who approached. A merchant arrived, his face lined with worry, seeking wisdom to restore peace to his family. Buddha greeted him with a serene smile, his eyes reflecting timeless understanding. The merchant explained the endless quarrels within his household, the anger and resentment festering among his kin. Buddha listened without interruption, his silence enveloping the merchant in an unexpected calm. After a pause, Buddha motioned toward the disciples gathered around and asked for a bowl of water. The disciple brought the water, its surface unbroken and still, reflecting the sky above in perfect clarity. "Look into the water," Buddha said, his voice gentle yet firm, guiding the merchant's focus. The merchant peered into the bowl, his reflection gazing back at him, mirrored with striking precision. "Tell me, what do you see in the water?" Buddha asked, his tone carrying a hint of curiosity. The merchant replied, "I see myself, clear and whole, without distortion." Buddha nodded, lifting the bowl with deliberate care, swirling its contents with his hand. "Now look again," Buddha instructed, the swirling water blurring the merchant's reflection into unrecognizable chaos. "What do you see now?" Buddha asked. The merchant hesitated, finally answering, "I see nothing but confusion. My reflection lost in the ripples. When your mind is restless, clouded by anger and pride, your words lose clarity and create discord," Buddha said. His explanation was soft yet unyielding, like water shaping stone through gentle persistence. The merchant bowed his head, shame washing over him. As the truth settled deep into his heart, Buddha's disciples listened in silence, their attention fixed on the lesson unfolding before them. Buddha placed the bowl back down, allowing the water to still once more. "Peace begins within, with humility and understanding as its foundation," Buddha said, his words carving pathways into their minds. The merchant confessed his struggles with pride, unable to accept his family's differing views without resistance or judgment. Buddha motioned toward a lotus flower blooming nearby, its petals open and radiant, rooted deep in mud. "Observe the lotus," Buddha said. "Its beauty arises from its roots embracing the mud. Humility is the lotus's mud. Without it, growth is impossible, harmony unattainable," Buddha explained, his gaze turning back to the merchant. The merchant felt as though Buddha's words were an intimate bridge connecting his heart and mind. Buddha picked up the bowl once more, its water now clear and still. "Stillness reveals truth. Distortion hides wisdom," Buddha said, his voice resonating with universal depth and simplicity. "Humility stills the ripples of pride, allowing clarity to emerge and peace to flourish." The merchant nodded, his understanding illuminated like light breaking through clouds. Buddha walked slowly toward the pond, his footsteps deliberate, his presence grounding. He bent down, cupping water in his hands and allowing it to slip back into the pond. "Do you see how the water flows? How it accepts everything it receives?" Buddha asked. The merchant followed Buddha's movements, his heart absorbing the lesson unfolding before him. "Acceptance nourishes peace," Buddha said, like the water accepts stones and ripples without resistance, embracing all as part of its essence. The disciples murmured in agreement, their souls stirred by the profound teachings. Buddha picked up a handful of soil, letting it sift through his fingers and fall gently to the earth. The soil holds seeds without knowing their growth. Humility holds truth without expectation of recognition. Buddha's explanation resonated deeply, shaping their understanding of humility as a pathway to peace. The merchant confessed his fear of losing control, of not being heard or respected if he embraced humility. Control is an illusion. Respect flows naturally from sincerity, not force, Buddha said, his words bridging the chasm of fear within the merchant's heart. A bird's song filled the air, punctuating the silence with melody and joy, reinforcing Buddha's teachings. The bird sings not for recognition but for the joy of expression. Embodying true humility, Buddha said. The merchant felt his pride dissolve, replaced by an awakening sense of humility's transformative power. Buddha pointed toward the mountain, its peak hidden by clouds, its base firm and unshaken. Humility is the foundation of the mountain, steady and unwavering. Pride is the storm cloud that hides its truth. Buddha's comparison struck the merchant's heart, revealing the way toward peace within himself and his home. The disciples gathered closer, each absorbing Buddha's wisdom as though spoken directly to their souls. Buddha motioned toward the rippling pond once more, tracing its edge with his hands. Ripples hide clarity. Stillness reveals truth, Buddha said, echoing lessons that resonated with unchanging truth. The merchant vowed to practice humility, to listen without resistance, to let harmony flow naturally through his actions. Buddha smiled, his gaze warm yet penetrating. seeing the truth of transformation unfolding within the merchant's heart. Words are seeds. Humility is the fertile soil in which peace grows, Buddha said. The merchant bowed in deep gratitude. His heart lighter. His understanding expanded. His mind stilled like water reflecting the moon. Buddha walked toward the Bodhi tree. His movements graceful, deliberate, his presence grounding. He turned to the disciples. His gaze penetrating yet compassionate. Humility reveals paths unseen, bridges gaps unspoken, heals wounds unrecognized, Buddha said. His teachings unfolding like petals of wisdom. The merchant left with clarity, his steps lighter, his heart committed to cultivating humility within his home. The disciples meditated in silence, their minds absorbing Buddha's timeless teachings. The evening descended, stars illuminating the sky, their light mirrored on the still water. Infinite and interconnected, Buddha's teachings transformed humility from a mere virtue into a profound practice of connection and peace. The ripples faded from the pond, their movement reflecting the stillness within each heart present. The Bodhi tree stood steadfast, witnessing Buddha's wisdom unfold into the lives of those seeking truth. The disciples dispersed as dawn approached, carrying the essence of Buddha's teachings within them. Another day, another lesson, another ripple of wisdom touching the infinite. Another day, another profound teaching unfolded under the Bodhi tree, where Buddha sat, holding a single lotus flower delicately. A disciple, Mahakasyapa, approached Buddha with curiosity and humility, seeking wisdom on the meaning of existence and interconnectedness. Buddha gazed at the lotus, its petals open in vibrant beauty, rooted deep in the mud below. Observe this lotus closely, Buddha said, his voice serene and steady, guiding Mahakasyapa's attention toward the flower in his hand. Its petals reach toward the sky, its roots hidden deep within the earth's nourishing embrace, Buddha continued. The disciple nodded, his mind eager to grasp the deeper truths embedded in Buddha's words. Buddha raised the flower higher, its petals catching the sunlight, its roots still unseen by those gathered around. Its beauty is not its own. It arises from the earth, rain, sunlight, and countless invisible elements, Buddha explained. Mahakasyapa's heart stirred, sensing the depth of interconnectedness in Buddha's teaching. Each element supports the lotus. Without any one of these, the flower's beauty would cease to exist, Buddha said gently. The disciples murmured softly, their thoughts unfolding like petals, absorbing the teachings resonating with universal truths. Buddha turned toward the pond, the flower still in his hand, motioning toward its rippling surface. Do you see the pond? How its ripples flow outward, touching every corner of its surface? Buddha asked. Mahakasyapa nodded, his gaze fixed on the water, its ripples mirroring the interconnections between all existence. Your actions, like these ripples, extend beyond you, touching lives seen and unseen, Buddha continued. The universe exists not in isolation but in connection, a web where each life depends on the other, Buddha explained. His teachings felt expansive yet intimate, as though weaving cosmic truths with personal clarity. Just as the lotus depends on unseen roots, you depend on the unseen connections in life, Buddha said. Mahakasyapa struggled to grasp the unseen threads connecting his existence to others in ways he could not fully comprehend. Buddha turned toward the tree, its roots stretching deep into the earth's nourishing soil. Unseen yet vital, the roots of the tree hold it firm. Unseen yet essential for its growth and strength, Buddha said. Likewise, the roots of your existence are intertwined with countless lives, seen and unseen, known and unknown, Buddha continued. Mahakasyapa's mind began to untangle its resistance, his heart opening to the wisdom flowing through Buddha's words. When you listen, understand that each word spoken carries the essence of many lives, Buddha said. The disciples listened silently, their hearts and minds attuned to the profound truths unfolding before them. Buddha motioned toward the sky, its vast expanse embracing clouds, sunlight, and the distant stars visible only at night. The sky holds all without resistance. Embracing the connection between all that exists, Buddha explained, be like the sky, holding others' truths without resistance. Embracing the infinite connections between you and all existence, Buddha continued. Mahakasyapa felt his resistance dissolve, replaced by an awakening sense of interconnectedness that transcended his understanding. Listening deeply is connecting deeply, touching the threads of existence binding you to others, Buddha said. He walked toward the pond, the lotus flower still in his hand, its petals vibrant, its roots unseen. Buddha motioned toward the mountain in the distance, its peak rising above clouds, its base firm and strong. The mountain's peak touches the sky, its base embraces the earth. Both are connected as one, Buddha said. Your existence, like the mountain, lives in ways both visible and invisible, known and unknown, Buddha continued. Mahakasyapa struggled to grasp the profound magnitude of interconnectedness Buddha revealed with such clarity and simplicity. Interconnectedness is not theory, it is reality, the truth binding all existence into unity, Buddha explained. A bird's song punctuated the silence, its melody flowing through the air, touching hearts without asking for recognition. The bird's song reaches you without intention, connecting you to its existence through beauty and simplicity, Buddha said. Mahakasyapa felt the bird's song touch his soul, revealing the essence of interconnectedness beyond words. Just as the bird touches your soul without effort, your life touches others without intention, forming bonds unseen yet profound, Buddha said. He walked toward the Bodhi tree, placing the lotus flower at its base. Its petals open in radiant beauty. The lotus blooms because it connects deeply with the mud, embracing the unseen with acceptance, Buddha said. Likewise, you bloom when you accept the interconnectedness of all existence, embracing the unseen connections binding all life, Buddha explained. The disciples meditated on his words, their minds shedding resistance, their hearts opening to the truth of interconnectedness. Buddha motioned toward the rippling pond, its surface reflecting the evening sky above. The ripples flow outward, touching every corner without resistance. Each ripple connected to the next, Buddha said. Live as the ripple, touching lives through kindness, compassion, and understanding. Embracing the essence of unity within all, Buddha continued. Mahakasyapa felt his mind quiet, his heart illuminated by the teachings resonating deeply. Buddha walked slowly toward the disciples, his presence grounding, his gaze filled with boundless compassion and understanding. The universe exists as one. Separation is illusion. Unity is truth, Buddha said, his words carrying the depth of timeless wisdom. The evening descended, stars emerging across the sky, their light mirrored in the still pond below. The stars above reflect each other, their light interconnected, illuminating the truth of unity within the infinite, Buddha said. Live as one with others, embracing interconnectedness as your essence, revealing peace and compassion within, Buddha continued. Mahakasyapa and the disciples bowed in reverence, their hearts filled with gratitude and understanding. Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree, his movements graceful, deliberate, his presence grounding all who gathered around him. Interconnectedness reveals your existence as infinite, touching lives seen and unseen, creating ripples of compassion and unity, Buddha said. The disciples meditated in silence, their minds still, their hearts filled with the truth of Buddha's teachings. The Bodhi tree stood tall and steadfast, witnessing the profound teachings unfolding beneath its timeless canopy. The stars illuminated the sky, their reflections mirrored in the pond, infinite and interconnected. Another day, another lesson, another ripple of wisdom flowing through the fabric of existence. The still waters, unbroken and serene, stood as a testament to the Buddha's timeless teachings. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.